Bond and Equity is the movie I'm reviewing today. This movie is on with Kadiri 24/7. A recap of this movie talks about a poor family who are struggling to survive. Then we have this rich young boy who is also struggling to be happy. Find out that he has cancer and is about to die. Then fell in love with this girl who is also in love with another pauper. So confusion here and there, but he wanted to be happy for the last days of his life. So the mother convinced this poor girl to just marry the son and make him happy. She did that and then lost the love of her own life. So that's pretty much what this movie is about. Bond and Equity. What a movie. What I like about this movie, I'll start with the storyline. Mariam Ogbona did really well with the storyline. She wrote it. I appreciate her. This is quite different from the usual movie we see on Ruth Kadiri. I think this was a pretty good storyline. I enjoyed it so much, how it ended, how the movie played out. It talks about hard decision in life. We all have choices. Every choice comes with consequences, whether good or bad, negative, positive. Whatever choice you make today, just be ready to reap what you sow, basically. And that's what this movie is about. That's what the lesson you can take away from it. The storyline was really interesting for me. I think I find it quite different and a little bit intense compared to the movies we've seen on Ruth Kadiri. A lot of people have been complaining about her project, her movie, this and that. This is quite different. So if you haven't seen it, I think you will enjoy if you have the time, obviously. This was pretty good. I like the storyline, that's what I'm saying. Then let's talk about cast and acting for me as well. The casting was pretty good. This movie could have gone either ways, whether a young adult, which is what they used as Annabel, Peter, and of course Emmanuel. That's like a young adult. They could have also casted an older adult, like the Francis Dams or the Ben Francis, like the older cast or the older actors. Either ways, the movie would have still be very good, because the storyline is quite good. So young adult that were cast for this project or this movie, I think they were good. They were good. So the casting was done right. Acting, I like it. Acting, Emmanuel, Peter, and the woman that played Peter's mother, she was also really, really interesting. Then the lady that played Annabel's mother was also interesting. The father, Atawe Raphael, he was also quite interesting. So acting wise, they did good. They did good. Wasn't the best performance for me that I will say wow, but they did pretty decent for a movie like this. So yeah, I think that was okay for me. Then I want to talk about location. There were so many locations for this movie. The storyline demanded it, so they made good use of locations, not just boring places. Different locations. They were poor, so poor people and working hard in different places. So we saw different sites per Emmanuel's work. He was poor, he was hustling, he loved this young girl, so he was everywhere. And I like all the locations that were given to us by this movie. Then also Annabel was a sales girl in a shop, so she had her costume on. The location was pretty decent. And then we have this rich family, so they had location for me was okay. Then we talk about costume, which I just touched on. That Annabelle's costume for a sales rep, good. The family, they were poor, so we saw all of that, good. Then also costume for Peter, he's rich, he has cancer, they had to make up his face and all of that. Yeah, outfits, the way he dressed, decent and rich. You could see that this guy is rich, but he's suffering. He looks good, but he doesn't look good at the same time. So, costume was good. When Annabelle got some money, she brushed off. Yeah, everything was just good. I think costume and location for me was pretty good. I enjoyed and like all of that. Lastly, what I also like about this movie is the ending. Oh my goodness. The ending was so interesting. I didn't expect that. This is why I say you can't eat your cake and have it. The ending was good, you know. Uh, yeah, the ending was good. I couldn't have predicted that ending. I was thinking, she might just be lucky to have the love of her life back, but that did not happen. The guy just left, and yeah, it will be painful, but it is what it is. That's what you chose. You have to live with it. Ending was so interesting. Ending was unpredictable, and then they did so well with that. So yeah, this movie is pretty good. The story holds substance. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Those are the things I like about this movie. What I don't like about this movie, I'll start with the children that were born by Annabel's parents. The other 5 or maybe 4 children did not fit into the family. They look more nourished, which obviously they were supposed to look like because they were poor, they were not surviving, they were not eating well. They just didn't fit into the family. Annabel looked well posh, you know that, she's a star, so she looked good. Then the other, her parent, the lady, and then the other man, they look good. You know what I mean? Then you look at the other children when they were eating. Then you look at the family, you're like, they don't match. They do not fit into that family. It's like picking some kids around the street and you want them to come and pretend to act. 2 scenes, because they showed these children like twice or once in a scene. That is it. The kids did not fit. So this brings me to, why did they exaggerate that the woman has so many kids? They were put. Why? And they showed them when they were eating, and that this, when it comes to Ruth Kadiri, anytime she's using other kids to represent a poor family, the kids always look more nourished, they don't fit, they look tattered, compared to the main character who is also presented as a poor person or as a poor child. They just don't fit. They do not fit. You know that these kids are selected from the roadside or selected from a family who are struggling, and they pay them some 50K or 10K to come and just act one. Like, they don't look part of the family. They don't look like actors. They don't look like, if they look more nourished. What am I even wasting my time explaining myself? What I mean is, the children do not fit into that character. They just look odd. They look like they were not needed. They could have just said 2 children, and it could have just been the same thing. 4 or 5 children, and they look like they were not needed on the set. Is so bad. And then this brings me to Peter's costume as well. He had cancer. Obviously, he has braids or cornrow or all back, which obviously again he cannot shave them off, so he had to wear a cap. Now he looks really well put together, except of course the makeup on his lips. He looks like they were dry, he was dying, so that was the only thing. But he looks all round. When you look at him from afar, this guy looks good. He doesn't look like a cancer patient who is dying. He looks good. If not for the makeup on his lips, you will know that he's dying, or he's sick. And that was not done well, so I wasn't impressed with that at all. That's one. And that's another thing I did not like about this movie, because he looks so fresh. Like, why? Somebody who is dying should not be looking all fresh like that. Hello. This brings me to Annabel's parents, the woman and then Raphael. They were exaggerating their acting. They were overdoing the acting. Like, yes, you are poor. You married a foolish man. You have 5 children, 6 children. They were overcompensating the acting for the kids, because the kids were not acting. They were not doing anything. They were just eating. They were being shown 1 or twice, and that's it. So everything was just Annabel and the 2 parents. They were overacting. You're like, are these 2 people not overacting? Especially at Rachel, both of them actually. He's always betting, and she's always complaining. the overacting was a bit like, seems you guys don't have anything else, so it was prolonging the movie. Like, no, And each scene that Atawe was in, he was overacting. I don't know. I just feel he was just overdoing it. I'm like, director, is this what you actually wanted for this movie? No, I wasn't feeling. I'm like, I could just see through what he was doing, and I wasn't impressed. Last two things I want to talk about is, or last three things, is the size. I don't know. Ruth Kadiri, why are you not posting your movie in 16 point now? Why did you stop? What is the problem? Who is posting the movies for you on your channel? Are you not the one in, like, why? So the tiny little spaces you leave down and up, are you gonna sleep there? What exactly is going on? So the movie wasn't posted in the right frame size, and this movie is longer. Oh my goodness, 2 hours plus. So that's what I'm saying, that there were some scenes that were exaggerated a lot. The beat seemed too slow. Next day, no, I wasn't feeling all of that. The car scenes, too boring. So many scenes were just not necessary for me. I just didn't find all those things necessary. Then lastly, cinematography. I wasn't like, Kajiri used to have some very bright, colorful cinematography. I don't know what's happening to her editing crew. I didn't find this one interesting, and watching pleasure wasn't made for me in terms of cinematography. I didn't like it. Those are the things I don't like about this movie, but thankfully the storyline hold it together. So rating this movie, I'm going to give it 6/10. Yes, I actually enjoyed the storyline, and I think Peter, Annabel, and Emmanuel, they did really well. They did their bits, yeah. So if you haven't seen it, Bond and Equity on Ruth Kadiri 24/7, check it out. I'll see you guys in the next movie review.